Hey everyone, me Kevin here. Welcome back to another market closing live stream. Scheduled today's closing live stream a little bit later because Lauren and I went on a wonderful walk. It was really nice. So sorry about that. But I did also post a video at like 11:30, so I'm like, you gotta bridge for Kevin. So anyway, let's take a look at what's going on in the market. I am noticing that the volatility index is falling. Take a look at this volatility index, down from about a high of 12 to 14%, down to about 7% right now. You do have KVSB running a little bit here into the close at 10.19%. Personally, this started happening relatively soon after a CNBC push. In my opinion, this is next door. It's a SPAC. It might get some momentum here. Personally, I would be a little nervous about getting into a new SPAC right now, but who knows? We'll see. We'll see what happens. We've got Meta. Meta was up much higher earlier. It's down to about 5.49% to the upside here. What's really been impressing everybody has been look at Amazon and Shopify. This is, oh my gosh, Shopify is up 5% as well. This is an income there. And this has just been a very, very solid, nice growth stock here. Solid growth, unlike Amazon, which has been very range bound. Amazon right here, very, very range bound. But look at that explosion today at Amazon. Absolutely incredible. I've got some leaps on Amazon. Those are obviously doing very, very well today. In fact, I'm tempted to potentially transition them over to shares. But I'm not sure if I want to do that yet. I don't know how I feel because I think this rotation to FANG, so to speak, which we talked about in the last video that I posted with much more detail and nuance, obviously, could be something we see a little bit longer. But let's see here. When did we even buy the Amazon? Amazon, what do I have here? Amazon, oh, wow, this was a February. This was one of the first dip calls. That's incredible. That's so cool. I was about 42K here. And then I have I've got some more in Robinhood, but that's and I have shares in Chase. But that's super exciting. Great day for Amazon here. Great job. So Amazon, Shopify blowing up here. Hyliion trying to come out of the gate a bit. Hyliion here going into the close with 5.12% up. We've got Hut 8 Mining up 4.85. Was up a little higher earlier in the day. Not as high now. Looks like here, Cloudflare, Square, 2.5%, SunPower, Zillow, Peloton, 1.66%. Apple's been sitting around that 1.5%. Apple's another one of those that folks are looking at as a potential breakout, like Amazon. Here's Google up 0.73%. Great. That's awesome. Towards the downside, you do have Ashford Hospitality, which these are the kinds that I always want to just give you a caution on. When you have a smaller market cap company, the share price can fall very, very quickly. And sometimes we forget that because we think about stocks as, oh my gosh, Tesla's up 5% versus say like a small market cap company that's up 5%. We see that as both the same. We see both as, oh, they're both up 5%, right? But 5% on a massive market value company is much harder to achieve than 5% on a very small cap, like a micro cap. Ashford Hospitality, for example, has a market cap of $513 million. Amazon or Tesla's like $500 billion, right? Huge difference. And so those are very important things to know because even though the smaller companies can move quickly up, they can also plummet much faster. Specifically, one that I'm nervous about, but it's honestly, it's just been parabolic, is Emrin. This has been one that I've been very, very nervous about. You can't short it. I've tried. You can't get options on the thing. I've tried. Maybe you can on different platforms, but not on Webull. But Emrin right now has a market cap of $261 million. This company, before this run right here, literally had a market cap of $18 million. That's insane. That is insane. This company has its market cap has, 10, 12x now. It's unsustainable in my opinion. We'll see what happens. I mean, good for it. I don't know anything about the company. So in fairness, I'm just looking at it from a technical point of view. It makes me very, very, very nervous. Who knows? Maybe there's a fundamentally good reason for it. Very Good Food Company down 4.3%. G-Tech Holdings down 4.5. CRISPR's down 4.4. Intelia down 8.8. Wonder if Intelia is going to head back to that 100 region. We'll see. Whoa, look at big digital assets. Crypto forensics here falling in the day here. How low did we get? Intraday. Let me go to the 1 minute here. This is not the 1 minute chart. Let's get the 1 minute chart, please. Okay, we are not able to get the 1 minute chart for some reason on big digital assets. So we'll come back to that. We've got SoFi. Good buy the dip opportunities, in my opinion, but nibble, unless you're going to play certain option strategies. I think SoFi is one that has a good support in that upper 14 range. And there are option strategies you can play, but in the meantime, I've been saying I don't want to be in on SoFi unless we get to, let's see here. See, I put $25,000 in at 1775 when we had a previous dip. So you can kind of look on the chart here. 1775 was this dip right here. So this is the dip where I first nibbled on SoFi with 25K. Outside of options that I've previously and profitably traded. Today, we've got a dip. We're kind of breaking below that a little bit. I personally think that we've got the possibility of going down to about 4. I have this up on TradingView. Yeah, it's on TradingView. Somewhere around the range of like 1471 is roughly where I believe we, in fact, I'm just going to draw it right here because that's what we have on TradingView. There we go. Somewhere around 1471 to me is a really good support line to keep an eye on because look, we get a touch point here with a brief breakthrough, almost a bounce off. It's almost like a premature bounce here, double bounce here, and we get a bounce over here as well. So I think this is a pretty strong support level at 1471. In my opinion, 1471 would kind of be like okay, I load the boat, like back up the truck and load up the truck at under 15. But there are ways you can play that strategy with options sooner. We talked about that in Stocks and Psychology Money. Now, then we've got, let's see here, Beyond Meat down 3.48, Norwegian Cruise Lines. A lot of recovery getting caught up in this mess. Tesla's actually running a little bit more into the close, but a lot of recovery. Wynn Resorts, Skills, Cinemark. It's interesting. Express, some momentum, some recovery, getting beat up here. So let's see here. United Airlines, yeah, and the airlines and Dave & Buster's too. Look at Dave & Buster's ran up to like 45, and it's just look at this on the downtrend here. The downtrend is continuing. We've drawn this chart a while ago, and take a peek at this. You get this downtrend here, and you've seen this downtrend continue to accelerate. If anything, we're starting to broaden the acceleration on that trend to the downside. We'll see what we actually close for. Looking at Cake, you could see we drew a downtrend here. This was pretty harsh, pretty strong downtrend. We've since consolidated from there, but we are seeing that sort of directionality from recovery stocks in general. This is something to keep an eye on. Tesla, of course, kind of been on this insane roller coaster here. Went back into an upper channel here between 709 and 666. You can see that's exactly, roughly actually, not exactly, where we're playing stocks today. If we go down to the 5 minute, we should be just below that. Yeah, we're just below that today. There's our 666, 667 line. But anyway, playing below that today. We'll see if we can recover into the close. Probably not. We've got 6 minutes left into the close, but that's all right. Charge Point's also down about 2.5% today. Let's see what other ops we've got. Yeah, so, man, AMC was really supposed to run today, given the pre-market action. It actually also broke through our support level, which is not good at all. What's very interesting to me is this morning we were talking about potentially selling a call on AMC, and it would have been very profitable to have done that in the first 10 minutes of the day, but did not do that. I did sell a call on Arcimoto. I did do that. I think that worked out very well. And then we've got, what else do we have here? Which is also something I sent an alert out on. So remember, Stocks and Psychology Money. So then we've got, yeah, here's Charge Point as well, down 2.81%. GHVI is also down. Here's another one. Here's one that I'm very, very curious about playing some option strategies on. I'm going to pay attention to this one because I want to buy back into this one. So I might put my way into this one. We'll see what happens. But this is another one that has some some insight, or it's exciting for me. What is this? Weak international travel offsetting domestic strength. Let's listen in for a moment.
Commentary on June and July being profitable. We'll start with Delta, which reports its Q2 financials next week. We'll be talking with Ed Bastian, get some perspective.
Ooh, earnings season coming up.
Look is. Guys, back to you.
Phil, I was going to ask when you're talking.
I'm going to bump my volume as well. Sorry for having to make you adjust.
Traveling as they were previous and still some of the restrictions around the world. Have all of the domestic routes been reestablished, or to what degree have they been reestablished for maybe a more leisure traveler?
Well, all the domestic routes have been established, and very few of them. I mean, there were some really isolated cases in small cities that went away. But generally speaking, all of them have been reestablished. What you don't see, Courtney, is the frequency that was there before. And you know this from flying to certain cities in the Midwest. You're just not seeing the frequency that was there before. And that's a frustration for some travelers. I suspect that that will change, especially as we get into the fall and we continue to see the travel numbers, at least domestically, remain strong.
Phil, thanks so much for that. Mike Santoli, have these stocks graduated from just reacting to headlines about reopening and actually responding to numbers and earnings now? Is that what we're getting a glimpse of?
We're getting toward that. I do think so. I mean, in terms of reopening, it's been such a steady climb that I don't think there's been a lot of these, weekly numbers that really took the market by surprise. The other thing, we keep pointing out is that if you look at just all the equity and debt raised by the big airlines, the traffic numbers are back to 2019 levels. Well, their enterprise values have already been back to 2019 values. If you look at the total market caps plus all the net debt they have, whether you look at United, American, Delta, they're all in that category of saying, like, we got here. It's not as if that we were surprised by it. So obviously, return to profitability, all that stuff's going to matter quite a bit. But yeah, we're sort of digesting the move for now.
Lindsay, how closely are you following the airline stocks? Is that an area that you are interested in for your clients? The transport average, though, is down 1%, so the biggest laggard there compared to the other indices today.
Yeah, I definitely got my eye on the airlines for sure. The Jets ETF is 25% off of its January 2020 high. A lot of the airlines are about 15% off of their recent 52-week high. And like Mike mentioned, the biggest weights on these stocks really are the debt loads, potentially rising costs, as well as the uncertainty of when the business traveler or international traveler is going.
This is literally so right on in terms of stuff we've been talking about on the channel about how these companies, they've got a lot of debt, a lot of them. I mean, with the exception of GME, okay? GME paid off their debt, but you got to be very, very careful. It's one of these things where all of a sudden you can be caught up in this like hypnosis of, recovery has been so good since November. It only goes up, 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 up. And that has really stopped in April. Recovery stocks going up stopped in April. If you didn't pick up on that trend, that recovery has stopped going up. And all of a sudden it's like, I'm just robot buying the dip, buying the dip, buying the dip. You got to be careful. Some of these recovery stocks shot up way, 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 way too high. So a large caution there on some of the recovery stocks. Also taking a peek here at AMC, if somebody wanted to buy the dip right now in AMC, so if you were looking at buying the dip at AMC, you got like 2 minutes left to do this, but you could sell some puts is an option for you. So for example, say you were willing to buy AMC at, I don't know, say you were willing to pay $55 for AMC, you sell a put, you're getting paid $14 for doing that right now. That's like buying AMC for $41, if you were wanting to do that. If I sold 100 puts at 55, how much does that cost me? 55 times 100, and then we have 100 of them. That costs $550,000. That's a lot, but you get $143,000 divided by 500. It's not as good as the trade I did earlier, 28%. That's crazy. Not as good as the trade I did earlier. I did a much better trade earlier. I got 42%. That was juicy. Anyway, let's get the bell.
0.2% set for a record close. Of course, anything positive for the three major averages would be a record after a trifecta of record closes on Friday. Real estate, the best performing sector on the S&P 500. Energy, comfortably the worst at 3.2%, followed by cyclical sectors, financial, consumer, and industrial. But at the close, we have a record for the Nasdaq Composite, up 0.2%, flattered by some of those mega cap growth stocks in particular.
All right,
Amazon,
so there we have the closing bell. Let's see how things close today. It looks like Dow is down 0.59%. Russell's down 1.36%. It's actually not as bad as it was for the Dow. The Dow was down substantially more. It was down 0.9% at one point. Now it's only down 0.59%. Looks like the S&P 500 is only down 0.2%. That's not bad, not as bad as either. That's incredible. It's probably Amazon carrying the darn thing. Actually, Amazon just killed it today. Let's look at the upside today. Look at this. Oh my gosh, look at that rally into the close on next door, the SPAC here. That's an incredible momentum push into the close. Really impressive push here on next door. Rally into the close. Very, very nice. Up 16% into the close on this. Hot potato for me. I'm staying away. But wow, very, very good. And you see this in the SPAC market. Who knows? Maybe it'll run more tomorrow. Maybe it's a good trade. So not a fundy, but a trade for me. Meta, HUD 8 ends 5.62% to the upside. Amazon ends up 469.69. You've got DocuSign up 3.36%. Really incredible. Arcimoto up 2.46. Took advantage of some of those higher prices this morning when we had a nice run. Got Honest Company here, 1.41%. Pinterest, Enphase, 129 each. Nvidia's up 1%. Here's just one. This one's just not dying. You just can't stop Nvidia. It's really incredible. I mean, look at that. That is insane. Here, let's take it off the average candlestick because it's just not fair. There you go. I mean, that is still beautiful. That's really, really nice. So good job, Nvidia, running to that split. They were smart to pick a split date down the road. Really, really good. I mean, smart. So, oh yeah, pick up those options on days like today. So thoughts on Body has been trading for about a week. It's on NFC. The short bar rate's about 42% on the stock class. Yeah, it's getting shorted like crazy. You know, I have a tiny position in this one as something I put. Oh wow, you're right. It went down to $9. Oh my gosh. Yeah. You know, it's not one that I'm like super heavy on long term. I think it's a great potential cheaper competitor to Peloton, but I think they've got some proving to do. We'll see how they can integrate their previous programs like P90X into this bike company. I think there's some great potential to compete with Peloton. In full transparency, am much more invested in Peloton. I've probably got, you know, $300,000 of exposure to Peloton and like $10,000 of exposure to Body. So it gives you a difference here. I'm not opposed, but yeah, I mean, gosh, $9. That's interesting. Yeah, that's a beat up. It is high on the short radar. It's been getting shorted pretty hard. You know, so I mean, I can't say anything bad. It's something I obviously have less conviction in than Peloton, but I hope it does well. Yeah, the shorts have been killing this one since even before the SPAC merger. So it's been a rough ride for shorts. But you've also got a little bit of anti kind of short momentum lately. Lately, momentum's been into like Virgin Galactic or random things like Meta or MRIN or today, towards the end of the day today, KVSB. It's kind of like looking just for the short interest is kind of gone. You know, it's there and gone. That's something to keep in mind. So I like it better when you show one stock at a time than four. Oh, well, thank you for the feedback. Oops. There we go. But anyway, yeah, that's okay. Let's look at BTC as well. See what we got going on over here. So BTC is sitting at 34. It's kind of been bobbing around 34 all day. So yeah, channel bound over here. Let's go to 30 minutes. Oh yeah, nice sitting in that channel. We are really bouncing off of this a lot, though. I'm going to put a soft line here. Oh, yeah. I'll put a soft line here. There we go. Whoa. Oopsies. I just spilled coffee on my keyboard. Oops. That's a bummer. Oh, well. What are you going to do? Can't cry over spilled coffee. Most of it hit my table. It'll be fine. We'll be fine. All right. The show goes on. So maybe I should just drink the coffee instead of babysitting it. It's like they used to say, what is it? How much are you getting paid to babysit that drink? Let's see what else we got here. All right. Peloton up to 124 here in the after hours. Very nice. I should probably keep paper towel handy, but I don't. So yeah, I don't have wipes or paper towels. I don't have any of that. I'm doing. Oh, what luck! It's literally like a half piece of paper towel was like put here by God. I never have those here. Wow, what a no, there's gonna be comments at X many minutes in. Kevin spills coffee everywhere. Josh. Okay, so where were we? Thoughts on Rivian if they IPO? So I'm nervous in general about most car companies, with the exception of the ones that can figure out manufacturing. The reason I say that is the more I study Tesla, the more I realize how insanely difficult the manufacturing is. Like I look at what I study Lordstown Motors, or which obviously has had massive issues. I study Workhorse. I study Canoe, for example, and I read the reports, and then I get to understanding like, oh my gosh, these companies have disasters in terms of going from here's idea, now let's have an assembly line. It's a disaster. I have the same fears for Boxable. And that's not to say I don't like Boxable, right? But it's just I get so nervous about manufacturing. So could I say that I'd be jumping up and down on Rivian? No. Thoughts on SoFi? Got a position. Yeah, we talked about it. Talked about it this morning in the group. So good run there on KVSB into the close. We'll keep an eye on that tomorrow. So how are other things doing here? Shopify, what an incredible mover here for a while. It's kind of been sneaking up slowly, just like crawling up. Very, very nice. DD obviously got wrecked today, 18% to the downside. Ashford Hospitality down like 36% here. Some big pain here. 23andMe back to $10 SPAC value. CRISPR Therapeutics got hit today. Let's see. Beyond Meat down 348. Tesla down 2.85. Rough day for Tesla. Those fires in a new car certainly don't help. Matterport, another one to pay attention to. Churchill Capital down 2.48%. Another one to pay attention to. Coinbase also one to watch. Down 2.21% today on Bitcoin trading sideways. Although HUD 8 did very well today, so kind of an interesting separation here. Tattooed Chef down 1.62. Simon Property Group. Here come our recovery plays, rotating to the downside a little bit. Consumers. Ubiquity down at 306. C3 AI still sitting at that support level, dancing around that 60 level here. Let's see here. Etsy pretty much flat for the day. Interesting day. All right, let's see what we got over here. So, Kev, are you worried about the fact that now I have not heard that 3 channels are getting targeted for deletion. I think if like I saw Graham made a video about that, and Andre reacted to Graham's video. Yeah, it's this, and I don't actually see that as a concern at all, because it's a mistake. YouTube's not going to delete anyone's channels who are legitimate, in my opinion. Maybe I just haven't been exposed to that actually happening. Maybe people are getting deleted. Maybe I haven't heard about that, and in which case my heart goes out to them. That shouldn't be happening. But maybe I do have too much faith. Maybe I should be concerned. I'm just not right now. So you just get transparent, Kevin. Hopefully I don't piss anyone off, but that's what it is. Well, thank you so much for the thanks, Nick, for shouting out HUD 8 as the BTC play. Yeah, definitely. I really like that one. So, Stock Mo, really? Oh, I haven't heard that. All right. So anyway, we talked about Body, talked about Rivian. Okay, good. Yeah, Graham's been, in touch. So we have the same guy at YouTube. He's really great. He's really, really nice and helpful. He can kind of go to bat for you. So, but he's a good guy. He helps us out when we need him. Anyway, let's see here. Graham channel is targeted, he said. Well, look, this all has to do with the spam bots. You know, we get them all in the comments. We all get them, right? And Graham's channel got caught up in the mix in that. You know, I don't think, like, when you say targeted, I think you need to add nuance, right? Like, what do you mean when you say targeted? Like, oh, you accidentally got caught up with the algorithm. Like, let's fix that, right? That's important. So no, I don't have a backup channel. All right. So anyway, let's keep going here with the sticks. So we've got DD, Clover, Intelia. Okay. All right. This is all pretty consistent here. I don't think we've got any big movers here. Let's see if we've got earnings, kind of what the earnings calendar looks like this week. Let's take a peek. Which, by the way, we got Millennial Money later today, so check that out. So, earnings calendar. Okay, yeah, nothing really today. Let's see, what do we have for? No, I don't think we really have anything this week yet. I think next week is going to be where we get some earnings. No, nothing really. Nothing next Monday. Oh, the banks next week. Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Citigroup, Delta, BlackRock, PNC. Ooh, we're going to go into earnings season. That's going to be fun next week. Ooh, that's nice. I also sell solar. We interacted on Twitter once before. Let me know if you ever need a good catch up. Oh, well, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Everyone needs a guy. Everyone needs a Furio. Who's watched The Sopranos? If you haven't watched The Sopranos, at the very least, and hopefully I don't get demonetized for saying it, but you got to check it out, the video. Furio's first job. In fact, you know what? Right after I mentioned that you should check out the coupon code link down below that we did push back the expiration on a little bit because it took so long to change pricing. It takes four hours now to get it done. But we're training somebody to do it faster, which is great. And but anyway, after I mentioned that, which that link is down below, now that I've mentioned that, I could say, go watch Furio's first job. Let me know what you think next time we're live or just in the comments down below. All right, folks, I appreciate you being here. We'll see you in the next one. Good luck. Bye.